number you have called has been disconnected.
Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
Oh, hey, Ghana, 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 Mauna Protege, Ghana, 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 Mauna Protege, Ghana, 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 Mauna Protege, Ghana, Ghana, Gino Meyi, Ghana, Maya, where I would do, Gino Meyi, make us say, Wumfahu, Mr. Gino Meyi, Ghana, Maya, where I would do, Gino Meyi, make us say, Wumfahu. Mumayi nanso Ghana, Ghana, Yakuyene yo, Tikuro kwejo. Ghana benyan kono, Ghana betu kono. Ghana benyan kono, Ghana betu kono. Ghana benyan kono. So my baby, so my baby, Yebra, Jebra, Yeri boy, Yanina say your mind, nay your mind. Ghana, Ghana, Yama, Ghana, Ghana, Yama, Mona Closet, Ghana, Yama, Ghana, Yama, Ghana, Yama, Ghana, Ghana, Betu Polo.
Pantanam, ooh, me man, babe.
It's Dr. Ray on the beat.
Say I throw a beans, I want me to a bankwaza. Oh man, baby, who won't buy, I want me to a bay. Oh man, Penimbia, wow, pep. Who are buying so to a bay, Brescia, Baganibia, wow, pep. Oh mama, patient is so dry. Sabato, Benudra, Yamato, something on a ponon, son, Quasa, Brunonum, Zapato, Abanti, Yadanudra, Yampantoko. Yapasum J, Abatum Breno, Yapantoko, Yapasum J, one man, one vote, Yapantoko, Yapasum J, Abatum Breno, Yapantoko, Yapasum J, Oshiki Bele, Osumo Bele, Osumo Hejale, Oshiki Bele, Osumo Bele, Osumo Hejale, Sokomo Tripala, Osumo Hejale. Abatum Breno, Mumene Bako. Ghana, we want peace. That's all. If you are registered as a voter, you have every right to vote for the candidate of your choice. You have every right to vote for the party of your choice. Oh yeah, but put Ghana first. There is no place like home. Instead, you know what? I assume yeah. I'm a by my man, baby. I'm a man. Woman, you know, young fuck, yeah. And try out you want some Jesus. And pennies are your pet. I'm about to break. And see your dama, my way out. My gun is will come, my gun and call the way out. So, my fire, Ghana. So, we are go on up a Ghana challenge. Missing your dama, my way out. My gun is will come, my gun and call the way out. So, my fire, Ghana. So, we are go on up a Ghana challenge. Sabaton Breno, Yampantoko. Yapasum J, Abatum Breno, Yampantoko, Yapasum J, one man, one vote, Yampantoko, Yapasum J, Abatum Breno, Yampantoko, Yapasum J, Oshiki Bele, Osumo Bele, Osumo Hejale, Oshiki Bele, Osumo Bele, Osumo Hejale, Sokomo Tripala, Osumo Bele, Osumo Hejale, Abatum Breno, Mumene Bako. Oh, Mama, I love you now. My time, I am some young. Bananam, Pantanam. Ooh, me man, babe.
It's Dr. Ray on the beat.
Say I throw a beans, I want me to a bankwaza. Oh man, baby, who won't buy, I want me to a bay. Oh man, Penimbia, wow, pep. Who are buying so to a bay, Brescia, Baganibia, wow, pep. Oh mama, patient is so dry. Sabato, Benudra, Yamato, something on a ponon, son, Quasa, Brunonum, Zapato, Abanti, Yadanudra, Yampantoko. Yapasum J, Abatum Breno, Yampantoko, Yapasum J, one man, one vote, Yampantoko, Yapasum J, Abatum Breno, Yampantoko, Yapasum J, Oshiki Bele, Osumo Bele, Osumo Hejale, Oshiki Bele, Osumo Bele, Osumo Hejale, Sokomo Tripala, Osumo Hejale. Abatum Breno, Mumene Bako. Ghana, we want peace. That's all. If you are registered as a voter, you have every right to vote for the candidate of your choice. You You have every right to vote for the party of your choice. Oh yeah, but put Ghana first. There is no place like home. Instead, you know what? Assume yeah. Mama, mama, buy me man, babe. Mama, mama, ban. Woman, you know yamo. Young fuck, oh yeah. Enjoy you want some juice. And fanny's a pair. I'm about to embrace. It's in your demo, my. Mama, you win out. My gun is will come. My gun and put on the wing out. So, what buy ya guy Ghana? So, when I go on up, I got a challenge. Missing your demo, my. Mama, you win out. My gun is will come. My gun and put on the wing out. So, what buy ya guy Ghana? So, when I go on up, I got a challenge. Sabato Breno. Yabantoko. Yabasum J. Abatum Breno. Yabantoko. Yabasum J. One man, one vote. Yabantoko. Yabasum J. Abatum Breno. Yabantoko. Yabasum J. Oshiki Bele. Osumo Bele. Osumo Hejale. Oshiki Bele. Osumo Bele. Osumo Hejale. Sokomo Tripala. Osumo Bele. Sokomo Tripala. Osumo Hejale. Abatum Breno. Bananam, pantananam. Ooh, me man, babe.
It's Dr. Ray on the beat.
Say I throw things I want me to a bankwaza. Oh man, baby. Who I want price I want me to a bay. Oh man, Pelimbia, wow, pep. Who I find so to a bay. Brescia, Baganibia, wow, pep. Oh man, baby, Shannon soda.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to Saturday morning, live on the Summer Radio GH. And the show is The Forum. My name is Ellis Ferdinand. 30 days to election 2020. Social political, most developmental program in Ghana. Welcome, Ghana. 7th November 2020. You're welcome to the Maiden edition of the Forum live in the studios of Summer Radio GH. Now, I have with me in the studio today, Coach, and we're discussing the details of today's program. The Forum is a social political program and current affairs discussion, and we're going to look at issues happening in Ghana. And I'm Ellis Ferdinand, your host. All right, Coach. Markwaba.
Mejoso.
Is it if you have a code here?
Nyanko pardon. Bibia boko when it you say ye tima sorry free fee abedru aha ye beye adwuma de I think say ye bede nyanko po ase
and so I made an edition ye did kan ye the Forum. Yes, social, political, and current affairs program. Any program in the Cabrafo, Naka, Chia, Casabia Fountain,
Omo, Omote, Frafrani, day.
So if you understand ever, Chi or can, any language at all, Dagati, just join us because this is a free program and we're discussing issues of national development. So don't worry about the language barrier. So what ends up for the how I say fan to secure a baby and say how the forum. Coach, this morning we're discussing our editorial. We're going to look at the Japan deal and then the Airbus scandal between OSP Martin Amidu and the former president John Mahama. We're also going to look at the elections at the United States of America, and we have a discussion on fact checking, the effect of fake news on election 2020, and then we also have the organizers of Mr. and Mrs. Tertiary Ghana joining us later on. So this is a fully packed show. My name is Ferdinand. This is Summer Radio GH. Coach, the editorials. You're looking at the Japan deal. Let's look at the historical antecedent of this deal. Now, there's Special Prosecutor's Office, that is according to that was Act 2017 as 959 Act, that established the office, states that this office should investigate and prosecute criminal issues in this country at the national level. And so the Office of the Special Prosecutor, headed by Martin Amidu, is responsible for investigating and prosecuting national level crimes. It is not a joke as a crime. But let's look at happenings in this country. The Special Prosecutor has done a very good job by coming out with the documentation on the Japan deal. This deal, let me go back to the historical antecedent of this deal. Now, the Japan deal, that is in 2018, when Parliament actually passed this deal within 24 hours. Parliament of Ghana used 24 hours to pass a deal that is having an adverse effect on the country currently. I remember that is on the 13th of April 2018, when when the finance minister sent this document to Parliament, that the Parliament should approve the document. It took just 24 hours for Parliament to approve this document. And I remember very well that the minority walked out of this discussion because they feel that there are certain issues to be discussed before the approval of the document. But within 24 hours, Parliament approved this document using majority strength to approve the document. Today we are looking at the adverse effect of that. The CSOs that are also talking about it, the stakeholders and Ghanaians as a whole. Let us understand that politicians are meant to serve the nation and not to be served. That is why when you are elected into office, you are the number one gentleman, or you are the senior employee in this country. So you are responsible for the future happiness in this country. But today we're looking at the challenge where former President Mahama said that, look, you shouldn't be a coward speaking about my issue on a different case. The Airbus scandal too has been another dangerous in quote issue in this country that we're discussing. Now we look at how Martin Amidu, the OSP, was able to come out with a yeoman's job with the Japan deal, though the deal has its ups and downs. But after this deal, it ended by saying that it is working on Airbus scandal, thereby mentioning former president as a government official one. And that, I think, is uncalled for. How come you talk about issues of this nature and you inserted somebody whose case is not part of this deal? Because a Japan deal is a different issue altogether. Using 24 hours to approve a deal of this nature, that is a tax exemption deal. Coach, the editorial. So we're looking at the impact.
Ellis.
Asemi de who?
You see, we live in a country where I think it's very difficult for people to do the good thing. That is how I see Ghana for now. We can never do a good work without we not attaching a minus to it. You requested that the parliament should hold on for you to do the corruption risk assessment.
Good.
You did your work, it came out successfully. Now, all of a sudden, you inserted the Airbus scandal into it. You see, in Kwafobeka said, what was the agenda behind it?
Good.
Yes, maybe you might be citing an example, but was it right to do that? The Airbus scandal is a whole issue on its own.
Yeah.
And it started long time ago. It started even before the Japan deal came up.
Good. That's true.
And you never try to even do anything about it. You are just saying government official 1, government official 2, just giving names to people. At the end of the day, you requested to work on the corruption risk assessment on Ejapado. Then you inserted Mohammed's name into it just to equalize corruption. If MPP has done it, we also have a case where Mahama is also involved in corruption. That is the Airbus. Unim, yeah, politicians, you know. I don't know what is wrong with them, but they should be holistic enough to tell us the truth. Martin Amidu, you see, Nyoma Elkosuina, the names given to him by some of the political big men in the country, he deserves it.
Obviously.
He deserves it. And I think the comments from Mahama, I will always support Mahama by saying that it's such a stupid act. Oh yeah, Jumawo in Kofo no maybe on my year. We say Mahama Airbus no on a government official.
Yeah, one wanna say we need to say
on what basis will you put in a different scandal in another scandal? That is the issue we are trying to.
Do you think that the former president actually has a case in this issue?
He has a case.
Describing him as a coward.
He has a case. No, you see, when did the Airbus scandal come up? It came up last year.
Yeah, 2019.
We wanted to know who the government
official was. It came out even from an international level.
Yes, from government official 1, government official 2. Later on, we got to know Alfred Mahama was the one being described as government official 2 or so, and the thing said his brother or somebody was elected. He was close to somebody who was elected, and so the NDC people came out, the NPP people also defended the issue. He could have done something about it. He told Alfred Mahama to leave London and come to Ghana to meet him. He decided not to come. Why? Because Ghana has no issue when it comes to Airbus. When him say the Airbus issue, no, I have 2 foreign companies na eko.
Good.
A foreign company.
Any Ghana company.
Any Ghana company. When I'm say foreign company, a foreign company decided to know what really goes on in another company. The reason why Africans would love to buy aircraft from this company. And they took the issue to court. And after their research and investigations and all other things, they got to know that this company pays bribe to the African countries. That is why the African countries mostly buy aircraft from these people.
Okay, so let's look at something. So what should be the effect of that scandal on the Ghanaian?
So the issue is,
yeah,
I take somebody to court.
Okay.
And in the court proceedings, we got to know that there is somebody who is also interested in the case, or somebody who is part of the case.
Which is a third party.
A third party.
Okay.
So the court is the right person to invite the person. But they decided not to invite the person. And the reason why the court never mentioned name is because Ghana has not brought any issue to them. So they can't disclose names.
So if they can't disclose names, then how did the special prosecutor get the names?
Oh, definitely they have their research. They have people. They can even contact the company that took the Airbus people to court.
So if the court outside the country can't disclose names, then don't you think that confidentiality has been broken, allowing Ghana to know who GO1 is?
Everybody has his own ways of getting information.
Okay.
So maybe they might use another means to get information. But the issue is, Ghana has not sent anybody to court. And that is why Mahama said he has no legal backing and basis to prosecute him. Now we are talking about Ejapado, where even in your document, I think page 3 or page 4 of the document, you told us your work. And that is to prosecute people who are involved in fraud or fraudulent acts.
Yeah, that's
now you find out that these people are involved in fraudulent acts per your findings.
Yeah, that's
and you never gave recommendations.
Now let's look. Let me get you back to something. The Special Prosecutor Act 2017 at 959. It stated clearly that the function of that office is to investigate and prosecute what national or high-level crimes. And of course, Airbus scandal is a high-level crime. The Ejapa deal is a high-level crime. So why should the special prosecutor actually come out with their findings without recommendations and prosecutions?
That is where the problem is. You did a yeoman's job. At the end of the day, no recommendation. So I'm tempted to side with Kweku Baako that go to court and prosecute them. If this is because you can't just tell me Petras is a thief, and so what? So if there are no legal backing.
Per that, does that mean that this document is invalid, or it is still valid but has its own repercussions?
It's still valid, but the issue is now we've all got to know what the Japa deal is.
Yeah.
We've all got to know the kind of people behind the deal. You see, but after you seeing, because even in the document, there was a page where the Deputy Minister of Finance, Edu Boahin, signed certain documents that he was not even allowed to sign, but he needed to sign, and he did it. You get it? So if all these people are involved in fraudulent acts, what do we do as a nation? We prosecute them. The special prosecutor. You have to prosecute them. And you didn't do that. Maybe he did it and sent the recommendation to the president, we don't know. But for now, per what we've read, he didn't do that. And that is making Martin Amidu's case more or less a useless case. Because you can't tell me I'm involved in a fraudulent act and do not take legal actions against it. What is the reason why we established the office of the special prosecutor?
So do you think that that office will still have that that mileage, that interest
you see,
from the Ghanaian?
Martin Amidu's office for now is not even regarded. You know why? No. There are so many corruption cases in Ghana he has not attempted. A clear example is the PDS. What has he done about it?
He might be working on it too, actually.
Who told you?
He might.
When did PDS started?
But I think taking a case and working on it is not an easy job. It takes time. But the challenge might be
in
that
this document he said
earlier.
He needed less than 2 weeks to bring out his findings.
Which
and I'm not.
PDS could have also come out maybe a month or so.
Even if it's a year, he should be done by now.
And that is long overdue too.
The boss contaminated oil. What did he do about it? We have so many corruption cases. Cash for seats. This Ejapa deal, he has done something about it. Even Maslock, excavators. We have so many corruption cases in Ghana. This man has kept mute. And at the end of the day, you want people to believe that the Martin Amidu who was speaking against corruption in 2008, 2012, citizen vigilante. People should believe that you are the same Martin Amidu. You brought out your findings and you saw that the office, the Minister of Finance, his cronies, and all other people involved in this fraudulent act did not do well. And at the end of the day, you never said what we should do to them. But in your office, you have the capacity to prosecute.
Yeah, that is
so why then did you even go in to do the corruption risk assessment? Why then did you do that? So, if people can be in a fraudulent act, and at the end of the day, the nation got to know that we are involved in a fraudulent act, but we just leave you, then each and every person would also try to be a politician and have ways and means to get money from the state, because we are not going to do anything to you. Even when we get to know that you are involved in a fraudulent act, we still leave you to work free. We have the Minister of Finance working around.
So do you believe that the system in Ghana isn't going as expected? Our system, we make laws but we don't implement them.
Fantastic. We all know what happens. Currently, you know the case between Kennedy Japan and the High Court judge, Justice Wunta. What happened? If it had happened to you, by now you would have been in prison. We have so many examples. to give out. At the end of the day, Ghana is only for the magnate. It's only for the rich people in the society. You get it? Ghana is only for a group of people. So we, the vulnerable, we, the poor, the voiceless, we have nothing to do. Ours is to obey the laws of the country. But we have certain people, they can go by the laws and even live freely and do whatever they want to do because they have money.
So in a nutshell, you think that there's a problem with this country?
It's not problem. We are sick. The country is sick.
Okay, the country is
The
sick.
country is sick, and we need people to come and do the diagnosis for us. You see, we all believed in Akufo-Addo. We all believed in John Mahama in 2012. Thought he's a young guy who is coming to help the country grow economically and help the citizens to develop their skills. We all believed in Akufo-Addo in 2016. What he said he will be coming to do.
All right.
Let me ask you, before I leave, let me ask you, when was the last time you heard MPP campaigning on corruption?
Okay, last time we heard MPP campaign on corruption. All right, in the studios is still Coach Ali. We're discussing the Japa deal. My name is Ferdinand. Later I'll be discussing issues of this nation, happenings in this country. Yeah, we are going to have a discussion on the effect of fake news or information disorder on election 2020. The effect of information disorder on election 2020. And I'm having a discussion with Madam Caroline Enipa. She's in charge of Dubawa, Ghana, and it's a fact-checking company. They deal with fact-checking. We're looking at how fake news or information disorder can have an effect on election 2020. So we're having a deep analysis on that. But Coach, your take on that first before.
You see, information is very keen. Information is very keen, and if we try to believe in any information we get, we might be led to a ditch. Okay, so I think it's up to the media to fact check everything these politicians say.
Okay.
We are here, we've seen a lot of promises, we've seen people telling us they've done this, and you go there and the thing is not there, the thing doesn't exist. You go to meet ghost projects, but in books and on the website you can see a lot of things being done in Ghana. You see, I always say, if we are to go by the things in our books, Ghana wouldn't have been in this state. But at the end of the day, the things in the book does not correspond in reality.
So you think politicians are just taking advantage?
They are just taking advantage because the media is not working.
You think the media is not working?
My mom, who stays at the market, Ashama market, doesn't have time to go and check whether it's true that Mahama built a terminal 3. Fantastic. So it's up to us. When Mahama tells us he built terminal 3, the media should go there and fact check if it's true.
I think fact checking has become the order of the day.
You see, we are now coming up as
a modernized nation,
a business, a company or an industry, the media industry, where we've started doing this fact check, because we've got to know that these people who call themselves politicians,
okay, the politicians, okay,
who call themselves politicians, always take advantage of the vulnerable people with less knowledge when it comes to infrastructure or some of the things. They have less information on issues, all because they don't have the time to fast check what they said. They can come here and they can tell you, we've done this, we've done that, we've done that. You see, if all what they've said are things that they've done, I'm telling you, Ghana wouldn't have been in this state.
That's true.
I do ask myself that these politicians come around, we've built 1,200 schools, we've built 2,000 chip compounds. I ask myself, where are they?
Where are they?
Where are they? And that is why Professor Patrice Lumumba will tell you, if something that you
professor.
did, yes, something that you did, it takes you more than a minute for you to explain to people, then it means you didn't do the thing. Last, we all know what the NDC people said they've done. About 2,000, 3,000 church compounds, 2,000 school blocks. Where are they? The MPP said the same thing. Where are they?
Where are they? You see, actually, if you look at happiness in this country, the politician is having an upper hand. But actually, the politician is to serve. They seem
not
to
only
serve.
the politician. Everybody in this country, when you are given a position, you have to serve people. Me sitting here, I have to serve the people listening to me.
Sure.
You hosting a program, you have to serve. So when you come and you rather try to interchange, the people listening to you should rather serve you, then there is a break in the chain. There is a change in the paradigm. So at the end of the day, nothing good will come out. So
the
politicians
media,
are to serve
as the fourth arm of government. We should actually check and balance the system.
That is our work.
But don't you know that the media itself is also having its own affiliations in terms of political influence?
That is why I'm saying the media or the journalistic part of our country is not working. The journalists are not working because of hunger. Because of hunger.
You mean there is no money in media?
There is no. Oh, they are not being paid well.
Well, okay.
They are not being paid well.
So what happens to somebody who works in a media house owned by a politician?
You see, the fact that you work in a media house owned by a politician, it does not mean your thoughts, what you learnt in school, has been polarized.
But you must pay. No. You must work for the paymaster. Don't you think so?
You work for the paymaster. So if you think the paymaster is demanding things that you cannot do, you just leave.
Or things that go contrary to the journalistic principle.
That is it. You leave. Who is Bloomberg? Bloomberg, when it comes to media, if you go to the United States, he has a whole media house responsible for financing. At the end of the day, he's a politician, he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of his workers complaining? You see, if you go to Italy, someone like Silvio Berlusconi has more than 10 media houses, but he does not contradict himself when it comes to media and his political affiliations. At the end of the day, he is a politician. You people are working for me, so do your work.
All right, so I'll be having a discussion with Caroline, and she is the programs officer of Dubawa Ghana, a fact-checking company. And in a few, she'll be joining us via Zoom for a discussion on fact-checking and the effect of fake news or information disorder on election 2020. So I'll be having a discussion with the Caroline via Zoom today. She is the Dubawa Ghana programs officer. Yes, Caroline.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You're welcome to Summer Radio GH.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Yes, we're live via Zoom. Caroline, she is the programs officer of Dubawa Ghana, right?
Yes, I am.
You recently had a program on fact checking.
Yes.
And
Yes. So
we are looking at the effect of
you mentioned
fake
at
news,
the
yeah.
beginning is a fact-checking organization.
Okay.
We have offices here in Ghana, Nigeria, and we recently expanded into Sierra Leone. And our mandate is to ensure that members of the public have access to accurate information. So we amplify truth, and we also build the capacity of the media and the members of the public to be able to discern real news from fake news. That's what we do.
Now, let's look at
The program we alluded to earlier was a training for bloggers in Ghana. So we trained 10 influential bloggers in Ghana because we realized that sometimes bloggers are a bit handicapped. They are often cited for being the originators or spreaders of misinformation and online disinformation. So we felt it was important we build their capacity in fact-checking to equip them so that they will be able to also feed members of the public with the accurate information they need to make informed decisions.
Okay, so let's look at election 2020 and fake news. You know, fake news has a tendency of destroying a lot. Making reference to the NSAS protests in Nigeria, you realize that some of the videos and pictures on social media weren't true. Now, we're looking at elections in Ghana. Do you think politicians, the media, and the citizenry should take caution dealing with issues of national importance on social media?
Yes, I think we all, in every sector, in all areas, limited to elections, with issues regarding health, education, we need to pay attention to the kind of information that emanates when it comes to that. And so ahead of the 2020 elections, which is just about 4 or 5 weeks away, all of us need to pay attention to the information that is spreading in the media.
Okay.
Because, like you said, with regards to the NSAS movement, we've seen doctored videos, manipulated videos, and images which have nothing to do with the movement, all coming up and being tied to the protest and to the NSAS movement. And so it's very likely that getting to the elections, we've already, in fact, started seeing such things. We're going to have videos, images, all which may exist. They are real things, but may have nothing to do with the elections, being tied to the elections, or with the aim of either causing fear and panic or influencing voter decision. So those are some of the things we should expect and some of the things we should work against.
Okay. Now, let's look at the media. You know, the media houses are being owned by politicians. Majority of the media houses are owned by politicians. So if you want to get employed onto the media house, you have to work for your paymaster, and that is the order of the day. What role should the media be playing in this regard? Do you think that the media owned by politicians should be dealing with issues of that nature?
Okay, so I'm not sure about the point that you made, that the majority of media houses are owned by politicians. I don't have evidence to back that. But then we know that some media houses are owned by politicians.
And these are popular media houses, right?
Yes, so we know that some media houses are. So we know the Oman FMs, and it used to be Radio Gold. We know they are affiliated to specific political parties.
Yeah.
And sometimes the kind of information they put out there is to favor their political parties. Personally, I say all of us have different opinions, right? We all do not think alike. So it is, for me, okay that we have radio stations and media houses aligned to certain political parties. What is not right is if they deliberately churn out misinformation and disinformation. That is the key issue I have with it. So ahead of the elections, knowing how sensitive elections are, we know also that the mandate of media is to provide accurate information to the members of the public.
Yeah.
So ahead of the elections, I feel that regardless of the party you are aligned to, your mandate, your obligation is to make sure that the information you're sending to your listeners, to your viewers, to the audience is as accurate as it can be. And it's not something that is supposed to get people upset get to cast aspersions on one political party or the other. So once you're in the media, you can be aligned to a political party. We have that in the US. It's obvious that CNN and Fox News are aligned to either the Republican or the Democrat. But then the information that you put out there should be as accurate as possible. That's my take on that.
If you look at the country currently, the media plays a major role because it is the fourth arm of government, so it has an impact in changing issues. If you go to countries like Congo and other countries where there are war zone countries, you realize that just one person sitting behind the mic or the console to speak destroy the nation within a second. Now, if you come to Ghana, though the media is having its affiliations, I think the media has done incredibly well. Don't you think so?
I do think so. And yes, so we don't just have partisan media stations. We have others that are obviously non-aligned and are doing their quota. And even with the partisan ones, I think sometimes they take time off to do the right thing. And so, yes, I think that the process of the contribution of the media. As much as possible, over the last elections that we had, the media has tried to ensure that they did not call out provisional goals, and they did not do the work that they did. And so we are hoping that they do that.
Oh, okay. So let's look at the citizens too. Now, from the media, we come to the citizens. What role should the citizens be playing in terms of information disorder or fake news?
Okay. So these days, citizens are not just consumers of information, they are also producers of content.
Yeah.
So you realize that even sometimes social media is from social media, which is used by a lot of number of clients. And so as members of the public, it is our duty, our responsibility to ensure that we are not generating fake news or information disorder. We realized that during COVID, there was a young man, a YouTuber, who produced a video saying that COVID-19 did not exist and that government was just trying to cause fear and panic, blah, blah, blah. And then later on, he was arrested. And then he had to come back and be apologizing, saying that he did not do it deliberately. So as much as possible, as a citizen, a user of social media, try not to generate or create false news. And in case someone forwards something to you, do not just share or retweet without verifying the content that you have. You can do simple fact checking yourself to ensure that the information is true or not before you share. If you know it's false and it's something that is likely to provoke people to a certain course of action, delete it. Be the last person to receive it. And then also, if there's something you receive that you're not sure of how to fact check it, you can quickly contact fact checking organizations, which I see are quickly growing in Ghana here to help you with the fact checking process. Dubawa is always available to help people with that kind of information. You can also cross-check with traditional media, because usually they are more credible.
Then let's look at
Ellis.
let's look at the law and fake news.
Okay.
Is there any law that guides or monitors people who spread information that is not accurate?
Okay, so usually when it comes to fake news and then law, it's a bit dicey, because if it is believed that, yes, the Constitution guarantees our right to express ourselves. And so one school of thought says that we should not censor people when it comes to what they say on social media or other media platforms. They should be allowed to say whatever they want to or not. But then also there's another school of thought which believes that if you do not censor people, you do not guard what people are saying or are circulating on social media, it might topple the democracy of the nation or put lives at stake.
Okay.
So they recommend strict regulations for dealing with fake news.
So
In Ghana, we do not, yes.
So in Ghana, let's look at our society. Society where we find ourselves in Ghana here.
Okay. In Ghana here, the law that we have that guides fake news and yes, the dissemination of fake news right now I see is the National Electronic Communications Act, and that was what was used to penalize the YouTuber who went who put out that video that COVID-19 was fake.
Okay.
So according to that law, if I remember correctly, it doesn't matter whether you're the one who created the misinformation or fake news or not. And it doesn't matter whether you deliberately or just by accident spread it. Once you're caught, you'll be penalized, you'll be punished. So you have to be very mindful of that. If you're caught spreading fake news, you can be jailed for that.
So okay, let's
Do
look
not
at
say that because you haven't been caught yet, others, the people in your circle have not been caught yet, you are free to do it. You never know when the evil day will come upon you.
Let's look at our local media houses and exaggerations. If you check very well, the local news presentations always been exaggerated. The local presentations and other platform talk shows or any other thing, and the people love it because it has been introduced, though it might not be journalistic. What impact would that have on election 2020?
So, that is outside fake news. What they are saying is probably true, but they're just exaggerating. It is their way of presentation. And we believe that's a bit problematic, because how you present information, the way you present information also determines how people react to it. So although a lot of the listeners or audience might like it, I think during the elections, we need to be a bit more prudent and a bit more professional in how we put across certain information in order not to get people to react in certain ways.
Because it has the detriment is very huge. Now, let's look at the politicians themselves, their communication strategies. Because in Ghana, it is assumed that the best politician is, in quotes, the one who makes the highest noise or the most noise. In reality, it is the one who makes an impact on societal development. Now, the politician who is quiet and working without making, in quotes, the supposed noise is seen to be maybe irrelevant, in quote. Don't you think that the politicians' communicating strategies have an effect on the election?
I didn't quite get the last end of your sentence.
Yes, I'm asking what are the effect of their communication strategies on election 2020?
Okay. If I got you right, you're asking the effect of the communication strategies of politicians on the election. Am I right?
That's it.
Okay. So, we are seeing this year, increasingly, we are seeing that political parties are moving, well, in addition to the traditional campaigning method, they are incorporating social media in what they do. In fact, a study by Exeter University and some other universities in 2019, which took place in Accra and Tamale, showed that politicians are increasingly using social media for their campaign process. However, like you're saying, it is those that have money, who are able to make a lot of noise. Okay. And so according to their study, and it's even obvious, you usually see the NDC and the NPP on social media because obviously they are the ones who have the money and then the funds to the resources to be able to do this. This in a way also affects those parties, the smaller political parties, who may have very good plans, good policies for the country, but they do not have the kind of resources that these large political parties have to campaign and to reach all of us. It's a bit problematic because we do not get to know all the options that are available to us. So people are just limited to the two political parties, the NDC and the NPP. So sometimes you feel like you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Maybe we need to look at how we fund political parties in Ghana so that both all of them have equal opportunities in accessing members of the public or citizens.
Oh, okay. So you think funding of political parties could make an impact?
It does make an impact because if you do not have the money, how are you going to campaign? How are you going to get your message across to people? You need
Because
money
recently
to be
you
able to
realized that
campaign.
the presidential candidates are to pay 100,000 cedis before they get that's for the nomination.
I believe you're moving away from the reason why
Yeah,
you got me
but
here.
I want to pick something from that.
If you want me to comment on that,
If you
complete
look
your
at a
question.
politician who is paying 100,000, he or she is to work hard to win the election. Is that not it? So, don't you think the strategy to communicate their information, they wouldn't look at the adverse effect, but how to win the election? Don't you think so? So far as they paid huge sums of money, they must retrieve what they've invested into the business.
I don't know. So you're asking me to say whether or not because people pay huge sums of money, they will just be interested in getting their monies back when they win power. That's it, right?
Using any means of communication.
That's a tough one because I am really not in the head of people, but we know how human beings are sometimes. If you spend money on something, you expect to get paid back for it.
Sure.
So that's all I can say on that. I don't want to go into the territory you're trying to push me into.
Good. So now let's look at the strategies of other individuals in the security personnel. They have a role to play in communicating the policies in terms of security to the citizenry on election day. Right. So
yeah,
we have. How would the security personnel, like the police, communicate to maybe the citizens in terms of instructing them to do A or B? Because some citizens are interested in the election result. So when they come to the polling stations, them, whatever you say, they don't care. Theirs is to just fight to win the election. How will the security services communicate effectively to prevent misinformation?
Okay, so we know that misinformation or fake news thrives when there is absence of information, when there is a gap.
Okay.
So this is not just to the security personnel in the country, but all election stakeholders, including the Electoral Commission. We have to make sure that we update members of the public as often as possible so that it doesn't give room for rumors, So as much as possible, the police service, all the other security agencies which may be or participate in the election, have to make sure that they provide us with information frequently. If there is fake news or misinformation somewhere that they know is not true, they should, as quickly as possible, put out the right information so that rumor does not spread regarding an incident.
Oh, okay. So, to you, as an organization, what role are you playing in this year's election?
Yes, we are playing a very huge role. Like I said, we are a fact-checking organization, and we are always called to duty during elections and when there are major events like diseases, pandemics. So during the COVID-19 pandemic period, between March and then July, when we had a lot of cases and a lot of misinformation, people really did a lot of work. So this election also, we've actually started working. We've already started seeing a lot of misinformation and disinformation in the media space. So we'll be doing rigorous fact-checking during the election. That is one thing we'll be doing. And we'll also be doing a lot of media literacy, capacity building of media and then citizens to ensure that they themselves are able to fact-check and verify information that they come across. So we also realize that as a fact-checking organization and even as media organizations, we cannot work by ourselves in silence. We are stronger when we come together, we are stronger when we work together. And so we are partnering with members of the public and then some key stakeholders to do our fact checking and to ensure that we have a sane election. So Jubawa has partnered with Kodeo, that's the largest election observation network here in Ghana, to do fact checking during the elections. We've also partnered with another fact checking organization here in Ghana called Ghana Fact to ensure that we do a lot of fact checking. And we also partner with media organizations like yourselves, with bloggers, media across the country, so that our fact checks do not just remain on our website and on our social media platforms. So these media houses can also share this information, the fact-checked ones, the verified ones, so that members of the public know the truth from falsehood that might circulate during elections.
Oh, okay. So it's been great. What are your last words for Ghanaians since we are approaching 30 days to election 2020?
My last words, ahead of the elections, like I said at the very beginning, we are going to be seeing a lot of viral videos, viral images. Most of them are, I believe, going to be old videos, old images that have been taken out of context. So please be aware of that. Be on guard. Do not share if you haven't verified if what you received is true or not. If you're in doubt, if you have difficulties, you can reach out to us at Dubawa. You can visit our website, which is ghana@dubawa.org. You can check us on social media, on Twitter at DubawaGH, and then on Facebook at Dubawa. And if you see any misinformation or fake news or claim that you're unsure of, you can WhatsApp us on 0542-818189. So we'll fact check it for you.
Can you give us
so
a number?
Let's be on that. Let's ensure we have a very sane and stable Ghana after December 7th.
Yeah, can you give us the number again since our viewers and listeners are
okay. 0542
0542
818189.
Can you come again, please?
0542 818189.
All right, 0542 818189. Is that
exactly?
And we're hoping to get you in the studios before election 2020.
Great, I'll be honored to join you there.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe before the coverage of our elections, we need to have more of fact checking because 2020 election is an election to remember. Because
Great.
between two individuals,
it's a historic one.
Yeah, a historic election between two individuals who are ending a tenure. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Caroline.
It's going to be.
Yeah, she's the programs officer.
Thank you, Ellis.
Yeah. I'm hoping to meet you. I will schedule a meeting so that you join us in the studios one of these days.
Great. All right. Bye.
All right, bye. Thank you very much. Fake news. The forum is live. Coach, and some who? And some in Ghana had it. I know what you want to ask you. Mami fast don't me tea for sponsors. Remember, this show is brought to you with the kind courtesy of Sparrow Security. Let me tell you about Sparrows. Whilst driving to the studio here, I had 3 security personnel. I was given a full convoy to the studio by the kind courtesy of Sparrow Security. So I entreat you all to follow Sparrow Security. Do you want the best security for your family, your house, your organizations? Then it is Sparrows. They are located at East Legon Hills, the Warehouse Junction. That's 5 minutes drive from the British International School. Get them on 0243 318272. 0243 318272. Sparrow Security. I've never seen beautiful ladies in the security service. But this morning, I was given a full convoy. Sparrow Security. Don't forget Summer Hill Estates. They are located at the East Legon Hills as well. Yesterday, I told my guest coach to come earlier and relax at the Summer Hill Estate. I gave him one of the rooms and he was enjoying it. Look, at Summer Hill Estate, I'm telling you, it's a whole landmark. If you have a family, you can just come to Summer Hill Estate and have fun. They have accommodation, conference room, bar and restaurant, swimming pool, executive lounge, laundry, gym, and then a spacious car park. I came with a big car, but I have a better space. Summer Hill Estates, live in the East Legon Hills. Fully air conditioned. Later, I'll be asking Coach about his experience at the estate when I give him a place to rest overnight. It's fully air conditioned with cabled with a TV, DSTV, and intercom. Free Wi-Fi, automatic standby generator, CCTV surveillance, and uninterrupted water flow, no water joke. Summer Hill Estates live in the East Legon Hills. You can get them on 0574 419 332. Yesterday, coach enjoyed Summer Hill Estate. He will give me some 1 minute experience for you to know what happens at Summer Hill. Big thanks to my sponsors. It's great.
Mauna Closety, Ghana Nyama, Ghana Nyama, Ghana Nyama, Ghana.
We also have Summer Hill Block Factory. I have huge sponsors for my show. They deal in concrete products. Summer Hill Block Factory. They have slabs, design blocks, design pillars, pillar head and base, 5-inch block hollow and solid, 6-inch block hollow and solid, garden curves and then round curves. If you are watching us on Facebook, just get these numbers. 0544 1552 35. If you still want to sponsor us, feel free. I'll give you the number of my producer. This is the maiden edition of the Forum, social, political, and current affairs program. We're taking over the city, ACC area crowd.
Jebra, Yeriboy, and in say your mind, nay your mind.
Later on this show, I'm having a discussion with the organizers of Mr. and Mrs. Tertiary Ghana.
Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Ghana, Nima, Mona Closet, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Nima, Ghana.
Coach is still in the studios. Remember, we are the fourth arm of government. We have to ensure that the politicians and the citizens do the right thing at the right time.
Ghana. Oh, Ghana, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Ghana, Nima, Mauna Closet, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, 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 Nima, Ghana, Nima, Mauna Closet, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Nima, Mauna Closet, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Nima, Juno me Ghana, my where would do, Juno me make us a wound for whom, Mr. Juno me Ghana, my where would do, Juno me make us a wound for whom, Mumma so Ghana, Ghana, Yakuyene, yo, Siguro, Jebra, Yeriboy, and in say your mind, nay your mind. Ghana, Ghana, Nima, Ghana, Ghana. Oh, Ghana, Ghana, Nima.
Coach, America for electoral system, no one is saying because near goes to America, no. I say, yeah, you kakra.
No, it's the best. You see, what is happening in America, if it happened here in Ghana, the election would have been declared. Because the system there works. That is why the president cannot find his way out or in, because the system works 24/7. But if it had happened in Africa, let me use my country as example, Ghana, the incumbent president would have easily been declared winner. You see, the electoral college system, I think, is perfect for America. If they had gone for the by popular vote, Republicans would
never become president.
That is it.
They
will never.
That's true.
So I think the forefathers of the great America thought
200 years ago.
Yes, thought about it and decided to go for the electoral college system. You see, it's nice in Ghana when it comes to popular votes. Okay, if you are also to go by the electoral college system, it will be very difficult for the MPP. It will be very difficult for the MPP. Okay. But if you are to go by the popular vote, then the MPP also has stance. The electoral system works in a way that when you are able, here we use the regions. When you are able to win a region, the whole constituency seats in the region is given to you.
And this is serious.
Yes, that is why they have the 538 or so seats.
So when we do that in Ghana here, it means that the
So for
MPP
example,
have 2 region seats.
For example, when MPP wins Ashanti region, automatically the 47 seats in Ashanti region becomes MPP seats.
Okay.
That is how the system works. So you can win by popular vote, but you can't win when it comes to college system, because, for example, Accra and the Ashanti region, let me say Kumasi, the capital of Ashanti region, they, when it comes to population, they have a lot of people living in those cities.
Yeah.
So when it comes to voting, definitely somebody who wins in the northern region, for example, Tamale, by a vote of maybe 200,000, 300,000. You see, in Ashanti region, you can win by 1 million votes.
Yeah.
You get it. But at the end of the day, when you are using the college system, you winning in northern region with 200,000, somebody winning Ashanti region with 1 million, it's all equal.
Using the system.
Using the college system. Okay? They are all equal. So at the end of the day, I think DS, the college system, is good for them. In Ghana, it wouldn't be good for us.
Let's look at the American system. You realize that America is made up of countries coming together to form a state.
Oh, yes.
And I think it has been about lobbying. Because look at Washington, D.C., where the White House is. I think, how did the lobby happen? Because I know...
For that one,
the
I don't
countries,
know.
Because if you look
at... I'm not a student of politics.
Good. Look at historical antecedent and where we are from as a country, using America for instance. In the 1800s, when the first president, I think the second Adams time, when he was incumbent and he lost the election, immediately one thing about the American system is that immediately they realized that he lost and he doesn't want to leave office. The FBI secretary apparatus straight to Jefferson, who was the newly elected. Recently, we realized that when the Trump issue that the Trump Buhari that is in now, I'm hearing that the security agencies are currently at Biden's house.
Yes.
It means that
ordered to increase security.
If you look at the American structure, the system, it seems not to be a joking system at all.
No, you see, sometimes we don't want to sound racist or racial, but I would have said they are white. They are white. You know, I still don't know why good things in Africa aren't good. Yes, good things in Africa are no good.
Good things in Africa are not good. Well, why do you think so?
Because the system doesn't work.
But what is that good thing in Africa that is not good?
Like what is happening in the US. When you lose an election, the institutions should force you to leave office. You know, Trump has done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He is just contesting the results. Okay? He is just contesting the results that they are adding illegal votes to the legal vote. So, and his time is not up. 20th January, when he will leave office, his time is not up. But he has the right to contest. That what you people are doing is bad. But in Africa, it's not like that. For the person to even contest, the person will use state institutions and incumbency power just to declare himself. Look at what happened in Ivory Coast. What is the current name for the Ivorian president? Ouattara. He came in when he said their former president. What is his name? I've forgotten his name. When we see he went
Laurent Gbagbo.
Laurent Gbagbo.
Yeah.
He went for 2 terms. Laurent Gbagbo wanted to go for the 3rd term. He said no. He won't allow. It's unconstitutional.
Which was truly unconstitutional.
Yes.
Yeah.
He went. Now you came in, you went for the 1st term, the 2nd term, your vice president died. And have you heard him? He said he used 4 years to train the vice president. And once he is dead, he needs to use another 4 years to train another vice president for the vice president to take over from him. Look at this. It's madness. And we have state institutions there. They are silent. And he has won overwhelmingly, 94% or so.
And 94% in election, you think...
No, you see, in Africa, 94%, you have your ways and means of getting the 94%.
It's not like the American system.
Yes. You have your ways and means. getting the 94%.
Even with American credible system, Trump
Still they
is
are
still
complaining.
contesting. So imagine
Yes.
that. Then our system here.
You see, you know it's 2 terms. When you are coming, you told somebody 2 terms is enough for you. But you don't want to leave when your 2 terms are up. That is the saddest thing in Africa. The good things in the world are not good in Africa.
So what is the problem with Africa?
The problem is we Africans, we have problem.
The problem in Africa is that we have
Africans, we have problems.
Is it
We don't
our
even understand
psyche
ourselves.
of-
We don't even know who we are. We've not been identified.
So do you think that with that ideology, we are trying to let the white man's idea of the black man come to pass? They see us to be people who are in quote
Even the people, the people who fought for slavery to end, the abnegation and the abolishment of slavery, they've wasted their time. The likes of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the great people.
But I think with Martin Luther King,
They've-
Obama becomes president. At least
No,
have a
you
great
see,
vision has been
he was fighting
for the black race.
for the black race.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you, if you really know that this guy is an American Ghanaian or Ghanaian American, do you think Ghanaians will vote for that person to come to be the president of Ghana? JJ came in with military and at the end of the day changed the autocracy to democracy and the other stuff. But we Africans say we are more racist than the whites. Yeah, Africa for me. Yeah. In Mukrasi ne abrofo no.
Just say yen ekwan ran fa so yi mu kwan ehu.
Ehu.
All right, we welcome back from the break. Still coach in the studios, and we're talking about the American election.
Yeah, I think let me end on the African issue.
Good.
You see, the whole problem with Africa is Africa has a problem.
Africa has a problem.
And as I was saying, I strongly believe the words of Lucky Philip Dube when he said, "We don't know where we are going, and we don't even know where we are coming from. We don't know where the problem is coming from. We don't know where the problem is going. So we are just entangling ourselves with the issues of today. When we wake up, you see, when we wake up, what today gives us is what we do. We don't think of the future. Africa, sometimes I'm tempted to believe that the God who created the whites is not the same God who created we the blacks.
I know what you want to say. As I said, send it.
If you want to understand, you need about 2,000 years to understand.
And we are
the
proud,
behavior of blacks.
When I hear that Ghana is a beacon of democracy, a peaceful country, I begin to think that what is peaceful? It is just because the youth are not angry enough.
Yeah. You see, the absence of peace doesn't make, the absence of war doesn't make a country peaceful.
Not at all. And that is what we don't know as a nation.
That is it.
Because
the fact that we are not fighting doesn't make us a peaceful nation. Because there are things going on in this country when we are saying it outside. The only thing good in Ghana is we don't wash our dirty clothes outside.
And so it should be inside and get malaria.
That is it. That is what we do. We keep our things inside. So it's bad for Nigeria to know the dirty things going on in Ghana. It's bad for America to know the dirty things going on in Ghana. But I'm telling you, people are suffering. People are really suffering. But let's go back to the American election. You see, what is happening in America, if it had happened in Africa or any other developed country, a developing country or underdeveloped country, I'm telling you, these white or Americans or foreign institutions or organizations would have been there supervising the election.
And that is shocking.
They voted on Tuesday, and today is Saturday. They don't even know the winner.
I'm telling you. And
they don't even know the winner of the election. When it's clear that Joe Biden has won. Do you think we can vote in Ghana on Tuesday and Wednesday? Results are not out, or Thursday results are not out.
I think it's time we in the media begin
to
supervise.
This goes beyond the media. This goes beyond the media. What I'm saying is, if it had been Ghana, we voted on Tuesday and Thursday, Friday, the results are not out. These international organizations would have been here telling us they are monitoring events.
Yeah.
But are they monitoring what is going on in America?
I'm
no.
sure they are. But I think Trump.
Have you ever heard United Nations talking about the American election?
They are too powerful.
UNICEF.
They are too powerful to talk about.
That is what I'm saying.
It's just like seeing your father and trying to advise your father.
So now Trump, America is the father of.
America is a very powerful nation. Look,
the hegemony is there.
Let's be very. You see, one reason why I respect
the hegemony is there. They built it. But what I'm saying is,
that is the key.
What I'm saying is, if it had been Ghana, these international organizations, you know what is bad in Africa? When the same thing happens in America, it's also bad.
Yeah, but to them it's not bad.
Bad is not relative.
Good.
Likewise, good. Good has never been relative. Good is good, bad is bad.
That's true.
Okay? So if it had been Africa, where we voted and for 5 days, we don't even know the winner of the election.
Yeah.
UN, ECOWAS, other organizations would have been here. But the same organizations, when there is a war in some of the African countries, they don't go. Because they want to see the downfall of Africa.
But why do you think they want to see the downfall of Africa?
Because they will benefit.
What is the benefit of a war in
That is why the other day I was asking Edwin that we had an American president who was black. During his time, Brother Muhammad al-Gaddafi, may he so rest in perfect peace, was overthrown.
Yeah.
But he was overthrown. We killed him.
Who killed him?
The world. Or the Libyans. But later on...
Okay, so we indirectly killed him.
Yes, they indirectly. And maybe these people had support from foreign organizations. But what I'm saying is, we had the most powerful man on earth, being a black man.
Obama's regime too.
Obama's regime. He could have stood for Brother Muhammad al-Gaddafi so that we resolve issues.
But Gaddafi's
it never happened.
Utterances too was questionable.
Apart from his utterances. So if you insult me, does that give me the right to stab you? No.
So why won't the African also understand that there is time for...
No, I've told you, for we Africans, our problem is we have problem. We have issues. And the problem is, we don't know where it started and where it's going.
So Africa
so
has
we just live in
beginning and has no end.
Our problems are eternal.
Wow.
We are going to be in this state till the second coming of Christ.
Seriously?
Oh yes.
Is it that there are no signs? Good. There are
optimism.
No signs of a future for Africa.
No.
Because the United States of Africa, that idea by Nkrumah is just a joke.
Me, you know something? I've never believed in a one state that, you see, when America was developing, they used this system. I always ask myself.
The white mentality is different.
I always ask myself, if you are telling me the longevity of a president would develop a country, what makes it so? If Akufo-Addo takes 8 years, John Mahama takes 8 years.
We've been meeting the 8 years, we are still where we are.
Coach Ali takes 8 years. At the end of the day, if we are to go by the norms of democracy, Ghana wouldn't have been in this state. But rather, we see good things as bad. We see good things as bad. Because if we have a common goal, that is why I said one day I want to see the two major political parties in Ghana having the same manifesto.
The NPP and the NDC.
Yes, having the same manifesto.
How would that be possible?
But our problems are the same. You and I, our problems are the same.
So we need to have a.
We don't have money, isn't it?
Sure.
That is it. The problems are the same. So why should we have two different manifestos?
But when and you even hear somebody saying that you stole my ideas, so and so. What is happening?
That is why I'm saying, for somebody stealing your idea, it's
But
like
the idea is a
you
problem
being in
in Ghana.
exams. You been in an exams room, and you are being asked 1 + 1. I'm sitting close to you. Because I don't talk to you, when you write 2, are you expecting me to write 2.5? Are you expecting me to write 2.5? Because
when you know that 2 is the answer.
That 2 is the answer.
Is the obvious answer.
That is it. So why then do they do manifesto? I want to see the two major political parties having the same manifesto, addressing the same issues. Because Ghanaians, we have one issue.
I think I'm getting you. It means that the two political parties should have the same manifesto, but two parties separately, but having the same idea to implement.
That is it.
But
because our problems are the same.
Don't you think it's time we have a national agenda where, if you want
that
to,
is where the national agenda comes in.
I think I buy into your idea.
That is where the national agenda comes in. We all need education.
Good.
So why on earth will somebody tell me free education is not good? Why on earth will somebody tell me free education is good? When we all know we need education. We all know our inability to create employment in this country. Somebody said, when I come, I'm going to legalize Okada. Somebody is saying, no, it's not good, it's illegal. But the person saying no can't even arrest the people who are involved in this illegal act. But they are rather chasing illegal miners. So
don't you think,
you see how Africa is?
As a nation, we need to have a national agenda where, when you're contesting for presidency, you tell us how to achieve the agenda than what to do.
That is it.
That to prevent the idea of somebody starting the project. Then
if you go to America, they have their manifestos, fine. Good. They have their ways of doing things. That is where we have the capitalism and the socialism.
Yes, their ideologies.
But the national agenda is there. In 2020, they had Elon Musk, the first private man to have a spacecraft move to the moon. And it was a national agenda. Even Barack Obama in 2012 said it. Yeah. By 2020, they should still go back to the moon.
You see,
and Trump
the white man has a vision.
Yes.
So what is happening to Africa?
Africa, what is happening here is we don't even know where our problems are coming from, and we don't even know where we are going. So our problems are eternal. They are not bounded by time.
Our problems are eternal.
Ghana.
As we said, our problems are eternal. But I think we are going to use this show to propagate a positive agenda.
Oh, definitely. Because
the following is huge.
Let me quote Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. He said something about information. He said, information is the oxygen of the modern age.
The oxygen of the
modern age. Okay.
And
what is oxygen? The O2 gas. What does it do? It gives life.
Yeah.
So if
it's a bedrock,
we have the opportunity to give out information for people to know what kind of information are we giving out. Is it a good one or a bad one? There is this saying from this man. Let me Benjamin Disraeli. He said, as a general rule, the most successful man in life is the man who has the best information. So we want to make our viewers and listeners successful. Successful not in the sense that we are giving you a lot of money, but through what we say, we are able to tell you how you can perpetuate the process of getting your money. We don't want to make it a short term, but rather a long term, where continuously, even if you are not there, we give you money. This is the kind of information you'll be giving out, and we'll be using this platform, this program, the forum, to tell people the information they need. And that is why I'm telling them the problems of Africa is eternal. Nobody can solve it.
The problems of Africa.
So if somebody comes to you and tell you this, that, ask yourself, is this person capable of doing that? You were tree you was say upon chasing Obama John Disidra, Rihanna Johnson, okay? People came to us. That is, you know why I'm always furious when it comes to political issues. let's take the NDC for example. They cancelled the allowances of teacher trainees, and I supported it. I supported it because the reason why the teacher trainee allowances was instituted, it had a reason, and the reason is to motivate people to enter into teacher training. Okay, because people wanted to move into how do you call it, universities. And for now, people are into it. We need to expand the infrastructure of these colleges so that we have more people. You should be motivated by you getting a job at the end of your school. Somebody in Legon, somebody in Kent University, it's not even assured of getting a job to do when the person is done with school, but he's still motivated to learn. 4 years down, now the NDC is saying they are going to pay the allowances. So it tells me that these people do not care about the policies they bring. It's what will give them power. What will give them power?
I think next week I'll be having the leadership of Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana in the studio here. We'll be talking more about education and the effect on politics in education.
Fantastic.
This issue you raised, I'm touched. Because
let me also
is dear to
end with another example from the MPP. These are the same people who said Ghana shouldn't be involved in borrowing. We should produce everything here.
And that is
money.
Good. And that is good.
And today they are preaching that they are borrowing at a reduced rate. And you know, some of us, we the mathematicians, when we sit down and analyze the kind of mathematics they do, it only tells us one thing: they are trying to be smart. They are trying to be smart. We know the NDC borrowed at a rate of 250% from 2008 to 2016. The NPP has borrowed at a rate of 110%. You know the reason?
Talk to me.
That they give reasons that they have borrowed at a lesser rate. But the 110%, the 110% is more than the 250% because the NDC left Ghana's debt at 122 billion Ghana cedis. So when we say you've borrowed 110% of 122 billion Ghana cedis, it tells us you've borrowed over 130 billion Ghana cedis. But NDC took the debt from 9 billion, okay? So calculate 250% of 9 billion. It's not even half of what MPP has borrowed. That is what I'm saying. These countries, these politicians, they just try to take advantage of our ignorance and naivety when it comes to policies.
The politicians want to take advantage of our ignorance and naivety. I have coach in the studio. A lot of messages. Coach, I can tell you a lot of messages. I need to read some of the messages. This is from Divan Salute Jr. I say thumbs up, Ellis. Thank you very much, Divan. He's a lawyer. I also have Theophilus Kwekuwabe. He said, Coach, don't mind Americans. If Donald Trump was an African leader, they would say they are greedy, old, so and so. Now see him fighting after losing power. Loads of messages our time will permit us. The forum. Hot a show for the day. A maiden edition of a show come true. We earlier discussed the Japan deal. We talk about the scandals in this country. Remember, as I said, I shall continue to speak for the ideas of this nation. I shall stand for the truth as a true patriot. I believe in myself. I believe in this country. I believe in the future. Young people, this is your time. The show, the forum. My name is Ellis Ferdinand. Thanks to my producer. Coach has been one of the greatest producers of all time. My only DJ, DJ Luis. And my high-able technician in charge of streaming, King Joseph. It's been a great day. Same time next week. The show brought to you by Samaria State, Sparrow Securities, and the Summer Hill Blogs. Say a great morning. Load of messages. Hopefully next week we shall be going down into education. Coming next on this show is the sports crew. Same time 8 to 10 a.m. Summer Radio G8. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for the support. Sorry for not reading all the messages. Before I leave the studio, let me talk about tomorrow's show. Mr. and Mrs. Tertiary Ghana is happening live at Osu Presby Hall. And I'll be passing through. The ladies and the gents will be showing their talents, their skills and ideas. We want to develop a great economy, a great nation. So as I said,
I'm giving you 30 minutes for the weekend. They are in.
they are late to the studios, and I'm almost done. Thanks very much to the sports crew. We'll be giving 30 minutes to settle our issues. You're welcome to my studios today.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and this is Summer Radio.
Thanks so much for having us.
What happened?
I think the driver didn't know the way.
Okay.
It's our first time, so...
Yeah, the first time coming to the East Legon Hills.
Yes.
That is true. So you're welcome to Summer Radio once again. This is the forum.
Okay.
Social, political, and current affairs discussion in this country. About the program tomorrow, I was talking about it. I was hyping the whole show, and then tomorrow is going to be a bigger day.
Yes.
Yes. Today you've met Ellis Ferdinand, the 101. Tell us about the show.
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to say a big thanks for having us this morning, and then good morning to your fantastic listeners out there. Mr. and Miss Tertiary Ghana is about to make a history tomorrow. The program will be at also Presby Hall. The red carpet will start at 7, and then the main event will kick at 8.
Okay.
We're expecting everybody to come and have fun, and then help us change the narratives of beauty pageants or any competition that has to do with young ones in the country.
So who are you in the organization, and who are the organizers of the event?
Okay, so it's a team of young, energetic.
It's obvious. I can see it.
But yeah, I'm the founder and then the president. The the brand is Tertiary Africa Organization.
Okay.
So I'm the president and the founder of Tertiary Africa Organization. It's an organization that is more into anything that has to do with tertiary students, events, award, capacity building, internship, anything that we could do to help them out there. It's something we've been doing for the past 10 years. Now we decided to put it under a very good brand name, and then so we have how do we call it, a team of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have partners, and then other business partners. That's
So you come with another gentleman. Who is he? Who are you?
I'm Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
He's in charge of the ladies, I'm sure. If you look at the face and the beauty, he's in charge of the ladies.
No, I'm not.
So what's your role as the event organizer?
Okay, I am one of the graphic designers.
Oh, okay.
inside, And as
So you
well-
designed the invitation card I received?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's great.
And aside that, I sometimes multitask too. So yes.
So
that's-
why do you want to organize an event for beauty? Because in Ghana we believe that beauty is all about exposing yourself, being your miniskirt. I've
Yeah.
actually followed your Zoom.
Yeah.
I follow your shoots. I followed a lot of stuff because Education Ghana is
Yeah.
with you, and I think you've done very well. But why do you think, Emmanuel? Why do you think that let's organize a pageant for ladies?
Okay, so the whole idea was pageant basically deals with, in Ghana deals with ladies.
Sure.
But ours is different. We decided to do it in
Unisex.
unisex way.
Oh, okay.
So that at least the boys would also, because whether we like it or not, boys also have something in them that when they are given the opportunity, they can do something.
I've been able to have discussion with some of the ladies.
Okay.
I think I seen some are from the colleges of education, the universities,
Yeah.
and so I think you've been able to bring all tertiary institutions, because most of the times it's all about the university students, and now I could see the tertiary dealing with the colleges of education. I don't know if they're nursing students
Yeah, we have
today.
nursing.
You have nursing
Yeah.
students too,
Yeah.
and then you have
We
from
have vocational.
vocational. Great. So it means that the concept of tertiary has been pushed to that level.
Yeah.
Now, people that belongingness to tertiary life will be felt.
Yeah.
So what are we expecting tomorrow?
Okay, so tomorrow we are expecting a lot of surprises. It's a program that has been running for the past 14 weeks.
Okay.
So that should tell you the number of preparation that we put in. Tomorrow you should expect the tertiary students showing their ability, problem solving. We want them to be able to give us presentation that should convince us that, okay, should they go back, whether they win or not, should they go back to their communities, they should be able to help solve community-based problem, because we believe that most of our pageants in the country has very good aims, but we feel we don't see much of the queens after
making impact on society. This brings me to my next question. What impact will your event have on society?
Okay, so to get to that level, let's start. I'm happy you are one of our best media sponsors, and I know you'll be following us keenly. If you look at what we did, we actually own the franchise for Miss University Ghana.
Okay, yeah.
Good. So Miss University Ghana gets the winner to go and present Ghana at the Miss University Africa.
So the winner of your event is going to Africa.
Good. No.
Showcasing the Ghanaian.
Yeah. So that's for the
culture
Miss.
in
That's for
Africa.
Miss University Africa. So we decided that Miss University Ghana has so many restrictions. You must have certain heights. You must have some qualifications. Your English, a lot of things. So we decided to bring Miss Tertiary. That opens the door for everybody, as you said it. But with this, if you watch very carefully, it was all about capacity building.
Yeah,
so as I'm talking to you, we've given them 9 capacity building programs headed by professionals. The last one we had was by the Miss United Nations. I don't know if you've been able to join the Zoom yourself. So that's what we'll be doing. So we believe to impact on the community, the person in the competition needs to be helped. That person needs to be re-educated. That person needs to be given skills to use the tools. That's why the theme of the competition says what re-empowering an educated youth in an era of global pandemic.
Okay.
So we believe we have some school knowledge.
Yeah.
How do we use it?
So when the winner of, I know the winner will get cars. I know in Ghana, if you're able to walk from here to here and show a case, you get a car. Or you are having a different
Price.
award. I think it's still cars, right?
Okay, so I will say yeah. I'll say on radio that yeah, definitely.
But you know, before you come in,
Yeah.
the media we've always support events of this nature, but we don't get bicycle.
Good. That is.
We only walk to the studios, have the events, then we come back. You realize that the euphoria is that the media projects thing. These ladies always get the car.
Yeah.
So what are we getting this time, media?
I think that should give us an opportunity to do something for the media.
Yeah.
Because I believe the media force have contributed a lot to the youth development in Ghana. So I think we can put something up. We can have a concept where media men and women also get to compete. And then get some car.
Wow. So let's look at projects after winning the event, aside the cars. What projects do they undertake after winning the event?
Okay, so this competition is a very difficult one. Why? Because we don't want to limit you. We know everybody. You'll be seeing them presenting their individual projects. But because we are in the new normal, the main competition has the pageant has its own projects. But what we do is that because we don't want to kill your individual projects, we give you the time not to develop your individual project. When you win, the main focus is to help the communities understand how the importance of getting ready for any possible outbreak of sickness, anything it could be. So that's the main project. But because we are in the COVID-19, the immediate projects the winners will be doing will be on COVID-19.
So Emmanuel, then who are we expecting tomorrow
As in,
at the event? Any guests?
okay, so we have a couple of guests coming through. We might be having a Zoom session once again with the Miss United
At the event, right?
at the event.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Speaking to the whole public, and then we'll be having some underground artists coming through too.
But I'm sure Osu Presby Hall, we're going to have gospel singers, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we are starting
Yes.
actually with praises. They're gonna be at least 5 to 10 minutes praises, and then the first act will be a gospel artist.
So you also giving the chance to underground artists to actually put themselves on the map. It's going to be a great show tomorrow.
Yeah, we hope.
How many students are we expecting?
Okay, so due to the COVID-19, the venue is 1,000-seater, but because we're going to have social distancing just a little bit, we might be looking between 500 to 700.
As we talk about COVID-19,
Yeah.
what are some of the preparations in that
So
regard?
the first important thing I want people to know is that it's going to be one of the most heavily guarded events.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I should take you for a word. So if I come there tomorrow,
Yeah, it's going to be very heavy. We're talking about at least 17,
Almost 20.
almost 20 security guard there.
I think maybe your next event, you should. One of my sponsors, Sparrow Securities.
Okay.
When I was coming to the studios, they gave me 3 ladies to give me a full convoy to studio. They have good security.
Okay.
I think you can maybe subsequent events have a talk with them.
No problem. We'll be
Because
ready to.
they did very well when I was coming to the studios. And
Okay.
it means that I think my guests who had the same treatment.
Okay,
You couldn't come early to have the same treatment.
That
Actually.
would be very good. Yeah.
I think it's a great event, a gathering of students to
Yes.
actually exhibit their knowledge and potentials. Is great supporting. So after the event, what next?
Okay, so after the event, as I said, it's a theme that think, rethink, create, and recreate. So that's what we do. Every minute we are thinking, we are creating something. We already have 3 different projects that are supposed to be launched.
Okay.
We're probably going to be launching the Miss University Ghana.
Okay.
We're also going to be launching.
So the Miss University is going to be basically those are the universities.
You must be in a university.
Not a college.
No.
So this is the general one.
General
and
one.
that will be specific.
Yes.
So will you ever organize for maybe miss college of education, miss nursing training, miss vocational?
I would love to do something because my company sponsor a lot of those. You know, nowadays themselves they are doing small pageant on their campuses.
Yeah.
So we do sponsor them a lot.
Okay, the campus-based events.
Yeah. So maybe now we don't forget that Tertiary Africa Organization is coming up with a 2 award scheme that will bring everybody back to rethink how we should be awarded as students. Yeah.
So how about the high schools?
The high school, we already have a project for the high school.
Okay.
Maybe we've shared it. I'll send it to you. We were thinking we could have finished with Mr. Shari early, and then
I think it was postponed because I remembered it should have been some time ago. Yeah.
So because we have great love for the high school children because we believe they are the next team of youth we should be taking good care of. So a big surprise for you tomorrow is something happened at the audition of Tertiary Ghana.
Okay.
Was that when we called for the audition, one bold secondary school kid came.
Okay.
And then to our great
but
surprise,
don't he or she knows that it's a tertiary event?
She knew.
Well, she's a prospective tertiary student.
Good. So that's what touches our heart. And then when she came, we were all like, okay, it's tertiary and all that. But to our great surprise, she actually performed more than 60% of the tertiary students.
Wow.
Yeah. So the judges decided to keep her. So she's been in the competition till now, even though she's not literally competing with them.
So we call it non-scoring.
Good. And then she will be surprising you with her knowledge. And she's also a school prefect for her school.
Wow, which school?
Tinugua Secondary School.
So I'll be meeting her tomorrow.
Yes.
So what are the targets for the winners after this competition? You know that the winner of this competition is going to take the crown for a year, undertaking projects, and then impacting society, because that is my key interest.
Yeah.
You know, there has been this perception that beauty pageants is basically about showing yourself and getting cars, and winners of maybe quizzes and all that get laptops and pens. So there has been this kind of sentimental ideologies from varied people. Now, when you win and you undertake all these projects, do you have anything for maybe brand ambassadorial deals where the contestants get to benefit from all that? Because it is something very key. The moment you contest for Mr. and Mr. Shari, you are a celebrity. People begin to look up to you.
Good.
Do they have such opportunities?
Good. So, being in the business for the past 15 years, we carefully think of this as you said it. The winner, even though I always told them that this competition about car and all that, the winner will be representing Ghana in Mumbai next year. That's Miss United Nations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the guy
aside the Africa event, the winner is going for the UN event.
Yeah, so we're going to have the guy also representing Ghana as Mr. United Nations
at the same event.
At the same event.
Meaning your organization is an internationally recognized organization.
Good, because all our pageants are franchise.
Okay.
So because we believe if you don't have these certifications, you are more or less just lying to people. So basically, so when it comes to the what happens next is that when you are a winner, you should not expect to be all how do you call it, pampered and all that. It's going to be a lot of hard work. You're going to need you to go down to
are they aware of that?
Yeah, they are aware.
Okay.
You need to go down to the community you are coming from. You need to represent the less privileges.
Okay.
You need to do a lot of fundraising. You need to be able to put smile on people's face. You need to be able to change your life as well, because we believe with our organization we are so much interested in your capacity building, because we believe we are all product of streets, but here we are today making big changes. So we believe we have a team that will support them as far as they themselves, they are going to be ready to learn and then work hard. So this thing is going to happen. Another thing that they will be doing is you're going to have them to have a key focus on the girl child, because the girl child has been one of the serious topics that
Girl child.
it's not the main key.
Now, before you continue, I'm one person who is very much interested in education. So,
Okay.
girl child education.
Good.
That has been the system. It has been the system for long. From the Lante mills coming out with songs to project the idea of girl child education. In the long run, the boy child is messing up. I don't think so.
Yeah, big time.
So why the continuous focus on girl child education, leaving the boy child? Because let me give you a practical example. A girl who is being impregnated is being impregnated by a boy child who hasn't been educated on
I
the
agree with that
principles of
argument.
preventing that. You get it?
Yeah.
So if that should be the issue, you are telling the girl, prevent yourself from boys, don't do this, teenage pregnancy, but you've not told the boy who is having the, in account, we say in the day, this boy can convince this girl that all that you've taught the girl will be forgotten. What happens to the boy child then?
Good. I totally agree with you. Probably first it's a thing that I won't say grew up with. We come to accept that the girl need more attention. But again, I will somehow also agree and then disagree, because I believe once we might take the past out of it. Let's take you and I are taking a new generation,
life,
a fresh generation. Maybe you have the next 15 years to come. We are preparing 15-year kid that's in of that age now. I believe you're going to be preparing a set of highly educated women that are going to give birth to boys that will know how to treat those girls. So
how?
Good. So I believe if
Emmanuel, I'm sure you are getting the conversation, right?
Yeah.
There's been too much attention to, but one key thing I want us to actually understand is that the girl child education ideology worked to a larger extent, because when I was younger, I know education for the girl wasn't a priority. Now, the idea of girl child education has changed the narrative.
Yeah.
I know people who had 15, 18, and then the parents would say, "Oh, you are a girl." But the man, and that has had an adverse effect on the girls.
Yeah.
So I think the idea initially was to maybe give that euphoria to the girls to also benefit from education, which is fantastic.
Good.
But so many years after that, you can't continue pampering that ideology when it is now having an adverse effect on the boy.
Probably we feel as a nation or community that we are not actually getting to the results we wanted to, or the target. Because
my earlier guest, yes, he told me in Africa we don't know our problems. We don't know the solutions. We are just in the system. We don't know where we're going to. We just allow the system to print.
It's all has to do with planning. I believe some of these things have also been used for personal gain. These are some of the things.
The organizations that are in charge of it.
Because we go and then make this big announcement, projects and launch. Because I came from the NGO point of
your perspective from the NGO's perspective.
And then I worked for a Bill Gates project for 7 years. So I could share my idea that we just go for big meetings, conferences, eat big meats, sleep in good hotels, but what needs to be done is not being done.
It's not been done.
We only are very good at writing reports and sending to the donor. So probably that's
like a student that writes project works thousands in the universities have not been used.
Good. So we need to look at it critically. That's why you are doing a great job by fighting for these things every day.
Because I think it's very necessary for look at the gender
balance.
But I think when one organization is helping the girl child, there should be an organization that should also begin helping the boy child. Because I am not against the idea of projecting a girl child education. There are 2 ways about that. But there should also be an organization, not necessarily the same organization. I may also come from an organization that is specifically dealing with boy child education. It will be pushed because it hasn't been the system. So I think it's a good business idea for organizations that
I agree with you.
Come out with a boy. So maybe the Mr. Tertiary, the male, could also say that if you win as a male, project a boy child educational agenda. That could also make an impact.
I think I'll take that into great consideration. Because the reason why we decided to do the UNICEF, as Yema said, is that we realize there's so much boys that love competitions, but mostly they don't have anything in that sector, except music, or maybe rap and stuff like that. But I know a lot of them are also interested in doing community work, so we'll definitely add this to their project lines.
Yeah, so that there can be an agenda for the boys, and the media we are always available to support the agenda.
Thank you so much.
Now, Emmanuel, we have some few minutes to go, and it's been a very interesting conversation with you. Young people having that mileage, that interest to actually project an agenda where other young people will be representing the nation in diverse ways, projecting our culture, our heritage as a country. I think it's worth it.
Yes.
But let me ask you, Emmanuel,
Okay.
when I come there tomorrow, or when any guest also comes there tomorrow, what should they expect in terms of security, in terms of COVID-19, in terms of maybe, I don't know if you're going to feed them, I don't know, what are the arrangements?
Okay, so as I said earlier, it's going to be one of the heavily guided events for security reasons. We're going to have at least up to 10 military men.
Okay.
Then we are going to be having 2 different private security company being there. We're also going to have the SWAT team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we taking them from Nigeria?
No.
Because Nigerians are ending SARS. We are also projecting SWAT.
So we are going to have the SWAT team there. When it comes to the COVID-19 protocols, yes, we are going to be very, very serious with that. And then it's going to be no nose mask, no entry kind of business.
So I should be there to make my nose mask.
Good. So even if you don't come, we'll provide you one at the entrance.
Great.
That's what we're going to do.
Great.
When it comes to what you expect, it's going to be a fun a day full of surprises. As I said, you're going to have a lot of talent to display, culture, dance. You're going to have a lot of young ones showing their capability to solve things.
Would there be any recognition to some special people, as done at award ceremonies, where some people who probably past winners who have made impact, or organizations projecting the agenda, or individuals who were once members of such a euphoria and then they are now aged?
Okay. The age, I won't say much about that, but people like you yourself and other organizations that are doing great job, we are going to be acknowledged. And don't forget, we're using this same platform to kind of start the Tertiary Excellence Award.
Okay.
So that coming from the Tertiary Excellence Award scheme, we're going to be giving some selected award, and then I'm going to give a lot of citations. I think over 41 citations.
Wow.
So everybody will get something. We're also going to have some of the people that have played key role in the industry being there. And then we produce a lot of beauty queen ourselves. So we're having over 15 beauty queens.
Products of your event. So any last word for us as we prepare for tomorrow?
Good. First of all, I'd like to say a big thanks to you and to your organization, the radio station hosting us right now. And then I want everybody to know that we have come to change the narrative of beauty pageants in Ghana and Africa. We want to change the narrative where people believe until you do ABCD, you can be called a queen or a king in terms of beauty pageant. And I also want the tertiary students to know that the time has come where they have to know that having certificate is not good enough, but it's how to use the skills from school to solve. That is what we want them to know. And then we also would like to say thanks to our sponsors, including yourself, anyone that has been with us from day one, and then finishing up hard with us tomorrow. We want everybody to come and then support us.
Any other info for us?
Mine is kind of.
I seem to enjoy the name Iman. So every second I'm trying to watch his face, and he seems calm and I think the ladies man. Yeah, he's a ladies man.
He's my colleague at JHS.
He's my best producer. He takes care of my event. One of the greatest persons I've worked with. So.
I know him.
I'm not surprised. So you look reserved. And the ladies, I'm sure the ladies likes you, right?
No. Not at all.
Because I'll be asking them when I come tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey, Emmanuel. We say, oh yeah, he's a ladies man.
Okay, so mine is kind of an advice.
Okay.
I would really advise anyone listening that if they have anywhere going tomorrow
We actually
night,
live on Facebook too, so
Okay.
people are
okay,
watching you.
so if you have anywhere going tomorrow night,
Mm.
I would advise that you put a halt to that and redirect your movement towards Osu Hall because it's going to be a night of blast. You wouldn't want to
A night
miss
to
it.
remember.
Of course, yeah.
We surprise people.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. It's been a very great encounter with you. I think tomorrow, hopefully, we shall make it, and then we see how best we can support agenda.
Thank you very much,
All
sir.
right.
We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much. The crew, Mr. and Mrs. Teshari. And then tomorrow they'll be giving me some limousine with a presidential jet. Name Ellis Ferdinand. Your number one social, political, and current affairs program. Next week, we shall look at issues. Now we're having some people in the studios as well. The Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana. The leadership will be here. Big thank you for listening and watching, viewing us live on Facebook. We say a big thank you. My guest coach, it's my producer, DJ Luis, Summer Hill Estate. Thanks for the support. Sparrow Securities. I will continue to appreciate the security guys because they've been helpful. Get in touch with them. Let's take the world to the next level. It's all over in the studios of Summer Radio GA. The show, the forum, taking over the city. It's always great to be with you. I shall be here same time tomorrow, next week Saturday. I enjoyed the show. I want to come tomorrow, but I wouldn't be here tomorrow. On Wednesday, I'll be here with Coach Ali for the drive time. We're going to discuss more of the elections in Ghana and America. As I say goodbye to you, let me remind you, the future of this nation is in the hands of the younger people, like you and I. The media, it is our role as the fourth arm of government to protect the integrity of this country. And I continue to pledge, I promise on my honor, to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. On this note, I say thank you to my sponsors, my producers, and the whole team. I say, have a good morning. Bye.